So now we are starting with the few other partition values. So there are three more partition values. Those are quartile, deciles and percentiles. So today we are starting with quartiles. So in median we have understood that in median, by this formula we can divide the whole data set into two parts because median is the central value, right? So what is the difference between median, quartiles, deciles and percentiles? So today we will understand quartiles. So in quartiles, what happens is that we divide the whole data set into four parts, right? In median we divide the whole data into two parts. We find the middle value, the central value. But in quartile, we divide the whole data set into four parts, four equal parts. Okay. So majorly we have three quartiles because we are dividing the whole data into four parts. So we have three quartiles, Q1, Q2 and Q3. So here the first quartile is known as lower quartile, which is basically lower 25% of the data. Similarly, 50% on the data falls on Q2. Q2 is also known as median because this is the middle value. And whereas 75% of the data falls under Q3, right? So Q3 is called upper quartile. So let us understand this with the help of this graph. So here you can see we have divided, for example, this is our whole data set. So we have divided the whole data set into four parts. So here you can see 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have divided the whole data into four parts. So this first one is called Q1, this second one is called Q2 and this third one is called Q3. This is lower quartile, this is upper quartile and this is median, right? So under Q1, how much data is there? 25% data, this one, right? Rest 75% is here. In Q2, which is median, 50% is here and 50% is here. And in Q3, 75% of data is under Q3, right? Only 25% data is left. So this is what we call Q1, Q2 and Q3. Q1 has 25% of data, Q2 has 50% of data and under it, and Q3 has 75% of data under it, right? So because we are dividing the whole data into four parts, right? You can see four parts. In four parts we are dividing the whole data. So instead of writing n by 2, we will write n by 4 because the whole data is divided in four parts. In median, the whole data was divided in two parts. That's why we were writing n by 2 in the formula. But here the whole data is divided in four parts. So we write n by 4. So just like other, median questions and mean questions, here again we have three series: individual series, continuous series and discrete series. So here I have mentioned few of the steps for all the series. So for an ungrouped data is also called individual series. Okay. So in individual series, what we do, just like median, we will follow the same steps: arrange the data into ascending or descending order. Then the formula to calculate kth quartile value, we need to apply the formula k into n plus 1 by 4. So instead of applying n by 2, here we will apply n plus 1 by 4. If we are calculating Q1, it means first quartile. What we will do here, we will apply k is the quartile which we are calculating. So 1 into n plus 1 by 4th observation. Then if we are calculating Q2, so here 2 into n plus 1 by 4th observation. If we are calculating Q3, the formula we will apply here is 3 into n plus 1 by 4th observation. Right, that's it. Okay. So I'll just explain this with the help of with the example. So for example, these are the values we have: 23, 32, 19, 36, 25. For example, these are the observations given to you. Now the first thing is arrange them in ascending or descending order. So I'll arrange it. 20, first is the smallest value is 19. Then we have 23. Then we have 25, 32, and then we have 36. So these are the values given to us. Now I will calculate Q1, Q2 and Q3. So to calculate Q1, this is the formula I will apply here. So 1 into number of observations. How many number of observations we have? 5. So 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 by 4. So yes, class. So here we get Q1 is Q1 so here Q1 is this 6 by 4. By dividing 6 by 4 we get 1.5. So 1.5th observation, right? Now there is no 1 by 6th observation, right? There is no 1 by 5th observation. Now we have to understand how we will do that. So how we will do that? So we will write first observation plus this 0.5 into now second observation minus first observation. Second observation minus first observation, right? So this we have to calculate. So our first observation is 19. So 19 plus 0.5 into second observation minus first observation. So second observation is 23. So 23 minus 19, right? So 19 plus 0.5 into 23 minus 19 is 4. So 19 plus 0.5 into 4 is 2. So Q1 is 21. Now we will calculate Q2. So the formula for Q2 is again, this is the formula, right? So I will apply the values here. N is 5. So 2 into 5 plus 1 by 4. So here the observation we get is 6 into 2, 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So here very simply we have got third observation, right? So we don't have to do anything here. So third observation is, we can take it from here. Third is 19. Oh, sorry, 25. This one, right? So here Q2 is 25 and this is also median, right? That's why they pick the central value, right? Now next we have to calculate Q3. So the formula for Q3 is this, right? I will put the values. N is 5. So 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 3s are 18. 18 divided by 4 is 4.5. So this is 4.5th observation. So again, we will apply the same formula. How we will do that? Fourth observation plus 0.5 into fifth observation minus fourth observation. Here 0.5 is this because the answer is 4.5. If it is 4.25, we will write 0.25. If it is 4.30, we will write 0.30. So here we are picking this value. So now we will put the values. So fourth observation is here 32. So 32 plus 0.5 fifth minus fourth. So fifth observation is 36 and fourth is 32. So 36 minus 32. 36 minus 32. So 32 plus 0.5 into 4. We get 2. So the answer is 34. So Q3 is 34. So this is how we have calculated Q1, Q2 and Q3 in individual series. So now we are starting with quartiles, calculation of quartile in discrete series. So in discrete series also, we will calculate Q1, Q2 and Q3. So let us understand how do we calculate quartiles in discrete series. In case of discrete series, we have variables x, which may vary from x1, x2 and up to xn with corresponding frequencies of f1, f2 and fn. So we have two series available in discrete series. One is x and other is f, frequency. Okay. And summation of f is also called n. Now we need to calculate quartile in discrete series. So these are the steps. The first step is prepare a cumulative distribution series. So first we need to calculate CF. So CF is 20, 20 plus 15 is 35, 35 plus 12 is 47, 47 plus 15 is 62, 62 plus 18 is 80. So this is how we have calculated CF. Okay. Now second step is calculate K into n plus 1 by 4. So now we have to apply this formula. See, K is always what quartile we are trying to calculate. If we are trying to calculate Q1, K would be 1. If we are trying to calculate Q2, K would be 2. And we are trying to calculate Q3, so K would be 3. So this is the formula. Now I have already put value here. So K formula is K into n plus 1 by 4. So K is 1, N is 80, the total of frequency or the last value of CF. Right? Now, so this is 1 into, for Q1, 1 into 80 plus 1 divided by 4. I have just applied values in the formula K into n plus 1 by 4. So here 80 plus 1 is 81. 81 into 1 is 81. So 81 divided by 4 is 20.5. 20.25. So here now I need to find a value in CF which is greater than or equal to 20.25. We have to observe a value in CF which is greater than or equal to so the value should be greater than equal to 20.25. So here we will see which value is greater than 20.25. So you can see the value which is greater than 20.25 is 35. So this is your Q1 class. Okay, Q1 class. So now we have to pick Q1. So we will, this X would be the Q1. So here from Q1 class, the X is 7 and it is our first quartile. Right. So this is how we have calculated Q1. Now next, we need to calculate Q2. For Q2 again, K is 2 and the remaining would remain same, 80 plus 1 by 4. So we will again calculate. So 81 into 2 divided by 4. So this is 40.5. Now again we have to find a value which is greater than equal to 40.5 so that we can calculate Q2. 40.5. So here Q2 is which value is greater than 40.5? This 47. So this is your Q2 class. So the answer is 8. From Q2 class we will pick X. So here the answer is for Q2 it is 8. This is our median also. Now the third one is Q3. For Q3 we will apply 3 at the place of K. So 3 into 80 plus 1 divided by 4. So 81 into 3 is 243. 243 divided by 4 is 60.75. So this is 60.75. Now we need to find a value which is greater than equal to 60.75. So this is our Q3 class. This is Q3. So Q3 here is 10, right? This is 60 point, the value which is greater than 60.75 we need to find, and Q3 here is 10. This is third quartile. Today we are starting with the quartiles in continuous series. So how do we calculate quartiles in continuous series? These are the steps we need to follow when we calculate quartiles in continuous series. So the first step is calculate cumulative frequency. Second step is calculate Kn by 4. So here K is which quartile you want to calculate, Q1, Q2 or Q3. Always remember Q1 is the lower quartile, Q3 is the upper quartile and Q2 is also called median. Okay. So observe the CF So now once we calculate Kn by 4, we need to follow the same steps which we followed in calculation of median. But let's understand this with the help of an example. So here we have our question. So these are the daily wages of workers. So in this question we need to calculate median, Q1 and Q3. So basically Q1, Q2 and Q3, all the three quartiles we have to calculate here. Okay, median is called Q2. So the daily wages which are given to you is 30 to 32, 32 to 34, 34 to 36, 36 to 38, 38 to 40, 40 to 42, 42, 44 and so on. It is up till 48 to 50. Number of workers are 2, 9. So how many workers get wages 30 to 32? 2. How many workers get wages between 32 to 34 is 9. How many workers get wages between 34 to 36 is 25 and so on. Okay. Now the first step is to calculate CF. To calculate CF, so this is 2, 2 plus 9, 11, 11 plus 25 is 36, 36, this 36 plus this 30, okay. So 36 plus 30 is 66. I'll just write here also so that it will be clear to you. This is 2 plus 9. Okay. This 2 plus this 9. Then this 11 plus this 25. Eleven plus 25. Then 36 plus 30. Now this 66 plus this 49. Okay. So 66 plus 49 is 115. Then 115 plus 62 is 177. Then 177 plus 39 is 216. 216 plus 20 is 236. Then 236 plus 11 is 247. Then 247 plus 3 is 250. Okay. So this is 250 and this is also called N, sum of frequencies. Okay. Now the next step is to calculate median. So we are starting with median. So the formula which we need to apply is for median is N by 2. N is 250. Here this is 250. 250 by 2 is 125th term. So we need to find a value which is greater than or equal to 125. Right? Find a value in CF which is greater than or equal to 125. Okay. So the value which is greater than 125 is 177. Okay. So this is your median class. This is your median class. So here CF we will take above the median class. So the value which we'll take is 115. Then frequency we will take of median class only. So this is 62. L1 of median class, that is 40. H is 2. Okay. Now we will apply this value. So now here L1 is 40, N by 2 is 125, CF is 115, divided by frequency is 62, and H is 2. So now we will solve it. Median equals to this. When we will solve this part, 125 minus 115 divided by 62 into 2, the answer we get is 0.32. Okay, so the median here is 40.32. So this is how we have calculated median, right? Now the second part of the question is calculating Q1. So the formula here is Kn by 4. For median we apply n by 2. For quartiles we apply Kn by 4. So what we will do, we will calculate n by 4. K is 1 because we are calculating quartile 1. So 1 into n divided by 4. So 250 by 4 is 62.5. Now again we need to find a value. We need to find a value in CF which is greater than or equal to 62.5. Okay. So which value is greater than 62.5? This is 66. So this is our Q1 class. Okay. Q1 class. So CF will take above the Q1 class, that is 36. So CF is 36. F is 30 and L1 is 36. This is 30. This is 36, right? And H is 2. Now we will put these values into the formula of Q1. So L1 is 36. N by 4 is 62.5. CF is 36. F is 30. H is 2. Okay. Now we will solve it. This is 36 plus. So now when we will solve the right hand side of the formula, we get 1.77. Right. So the answer is 37.77. So this is the value of Q1. Now we will calculate the third part of the question, that is Q3. For Q3, the formula which we will apply is 3n by 4 because we are calculating third quartile, that's why we are applying 3n by 4. So 3 into 250 by 4 is 187. Again we need to find a value which is greater than or equal to 137. 187, sorry, not 137. So which value is greater than 187? This one, 216, right? So this is our Q3 class. So CF would be above the Q3 class, that is 177. Frequency we will take from Q3 class 39 and 42 L1. 39 and 42, right? And H would be 2. Now we will put these values into the formula of Q3. So the only difference in the formula is 3n by 4 or n by 4 or n by 2. Rest of the formula is just as median. Okay. So Q3 is L1 we have is 42, right? 3n by minus CF. So 3n is 187.5 minus CF is 177 divided by frequency is 39 into H is 2. Now when we will solve the right hand side of the formula, I mean this part, 187.5 minus 177 by 39 into 2, the answer we will get is 0.54. So here Q3 is 42.54. So this is how we have calculated Q3, Q1 and median. So today we are starting with the next central tendency, that is deciles. Okay. So we have already done quartiles. So the major the major difference between median, quartiles and deciles is the basis on which they divide the whole data. Like median divides the whole data into two parts. It tells you the central value of the observation of the series. The quartile will tell you, the quartile will divide the whole data into four parts. So there are three values, right? Q1, Q2 and Q3. We can calculate three quartiles as we discussed. Then we have deciles. So in deciles divide the whole data into 10 parts. Okay. So for an ungrouped data which may consist of n number of observation and further it may not be compulsorily distinct in nature, deciles can be calculated through the following steps. So as I told you that deciles divide the whole data set into 10 parts, right? So let's see how many deciles we can calculate. We can, if it divides the whole data set into 10 parts, so it means up to 9 or 10 we can calculate. Okay, so the formula would be same as it was in median or in quartiles. So the only difference is of denominator. So the denominator here is 10 because it is dividing the whole data set into 10 parts. As in median, the denominator was 2 because it was dividing the whole data set into two parts because it was showing the central value. In quartile, it was dividing the whole data set into four parts. So the denominator was 4. Decile divide the whole data set into 10 parts. That's why the denominator is 10. So there is one more type of central tendency, that is percentile. So percentile divides the whole data set into 100 parts. Okay, that's why the denominator here is 100. Okay, so the only difference between median, quartile, decile and percentile is in how many parts it divides the whole data set, right? So median divides in 2 parts, quartile divides in 4 parts, deciles divides in 10 parts and percentile divides in 100 parts. Okay, so this is the major difference. The rest of the formula would remain same in all the cases. Only the single differences of denominator 2, 4 10 and 100, right? So again, there are three series. So individual series, discrete series, and continuous series. So we will calculate, we will see how to calculate all these deciles, quartiles, percentiles in all the three series. We have done all the three series in case of quartiles, and similarly we have to do in deciles and percentiles. Like in individual series, first of all you have to arrange the data into ascending or descending order. Then what we will do, we will just apply this formula. If we want to calculate d1, what we will do, 1 at the place, this is the formula, k into n plus 1 by 10th observation. So k is which decile you want to calculate, d1, d2, d3. So this k would be which decile you want to calculate into n plus 1. N is the number of observations you have, plus 1 divided by 10. And the rest of the procedure would be same as we did in quartiles, right? Then we have discrete series. In case of discrete series, first we have to calculate cumulative distribution, CF, cumulative frequency we have to calculate. Then we will calculate k into n plus 1, and we will observe a value which is greater than or equal to k into n plus 1 by 10th observation. And the corresponding value of x from CF we can pick as the decile, right? Then there is continuous series. Here instead of k into n plus 1, the formula becomes kn by 10. Okay. So this would also remain same. First we will calculate CF. Then we will calculate, we will find from CF, we will try to find the decile class, and then finally we will apply this formula. If you see this formula is same as median, right? Since median we are applying the same formula, there is no change in formula. So L1 plus Kn by 10. Here we are writing Kn by 10, right? In median we used to write n by 2. In quartile we used to write n by 4. In deciles we are writing n by 10. So K is, I mean 1, 2, 3, whatever you want to calculate. Rest of the formula would remain same. There is no change in the formula, right? Now let's move forward with percentile. In percentile again, the formula will remain same. There is no change in formula as such. The only difference is of denominator, because in percentile the whole data set is divided into 100 parts. That's why the denominator is 100. Again, in individual series, we will arrange the data into ascending or a descending order, and we will apply this formula. If you want to calculate P1, P2, P3, whatsoever you want to calculate, you can calculate. Just the only difference is k would change. If you want to calculate P10, you have to write 3 at the place of k. If you want to calculate P99, you will write 99 at the place of k. So this is the only difference, right? So similarly in discrete series, we will again find cumulative frequency. Then we will apply the formula kn by 100, and then we will observe a value from CF which is greater than or equal to kn plus 1 by 100. So here we want to find the value of x, corresponding value of x to the CF, so that we can calculate PK, percentile. Okay. Then continuous series, again we will follow the same procedure. First we will calculate CF, then we will calculate Kn by 100, then we can find the value of, we will find a value in the CF table, where we can find a value which is greater than or equal to Kn by 100, and then we will apply this formula. So these are the formulas. Now we will try to understand these questions with the help of few examples. Okay. So here I have my first example with you. So from the following data, calculate 7th decile and 60th percentile. Two things we have to calculate here: 7th decile and 60th percentile. Okay. So this is a continuous series question. So in case of continuous series, you are given this range 30 to 40, 40 to 50. The workers which are getting, who are getting wages between 30 to 40, there is one worker. Then 40 to 50, there are three workers. 50 to 60, there are 11 workers, and so on. Total number of workers you can see here, it is 120. Okay. So it is continuous series. First we need to calculate CF. So this is 1, then 1 plus 3, it becomes 4, 4 plus 11, it becomes 15. 15 plus 21, it becomes 36. Then 36 plus 43, it becomes 79. Then 79 plus 32, this becomes 111. Then 111 plus 9, it becomes 120. So this last value of CF is equal to summation of F, that is called N. So it means CF is fine. Now I need to calculate D7. So to calculate D7, the formula would be 7n by 10, right? 7 because we need to calculate 7th decile. That's why I'm writing 7. 7 into n by 10. So 7 into 120 by 10 is 84th term. Now what do I have to do? I have to find a value which is greater than or equal to 84, right? So from CF I will find this 79 is less than 84, so we cannot take it. So 111 is greater than 84, okay? So this is our decile class. So from here I will find CF. So CF I have to take above the decile class. So this is 79. CF is 79. Frequency is of the decile class, that is 32. L1 of the decile class, that is 80, and H is 10, right? So this is what we have calculated. Now we will put the values here in the formula. Formula is same, just like median. The only difference is 7n by 10, right? So I will put the values, all these values into the formula here. So L1 is 80. Then 7n by 10 is 84. Minus CF is 79. F is 32. And FH is 10, class interval, right? So now we will just solve it. So D7 80, when we will solve this right hand side of the formula, this one, I will get 1.7, okay? 1.5, sorry, not 7. This is 1.5. So the final answer is 81.5. Now let's move forward to the second part of the question. The second part of the question wants us to find 60th percentile, okay? So to calculate 60th percentile, it means we need to calculate P60. So to calculate P60, it means 60n by 100. Because we are calculating percentile, we have to write 100 in the denominator. So 60 into 120 by 100, okay? So 60 into 120 by 100 is 72th term. So we will find a value in CF which is greater than or equal to 72. So 36 is less and 79 is greater than 72. So this is our percentile class, okay? So this we have find out. Now moving forward. Now we will find CF. CF we have to take the value which is above the percentile class. So we will take 36. So here it is 36. Frequency is of percentile class, that is 43. L1 of percentile class, that is 70. And H is 10. Now we will apply all these values into the formula. here. So L1 is 70. N by 100 is 72, minus CF is 36, F is 43, into H is 10. Now we will solve this part. So here, once we'll solve this, we get 78.4. Okay, 78.4. So this is how we have calculated 60th percentile. So in the present question, the information which is given to us is the marks obtained by 70 students in an exam are as following. So the exam, the marks are 0 to 10. The marks 0 to 10 are obtained by 4 students. The marks between 10 to 20 are obtained by 8 students. The marks between 20 to 30 are obtained by 10 students, 30 to 40 by 25 students, 40 to 50 by 7 students, and 50 to 60 by 16 students, right? So this is the information given to you, and what all we have to calculate here is the marks at 25th percentile, the marks at third quartile, and the approximate number of students who failed in the exam if the pass marks is 40%, right? This is the information which is given to us. Now we have to calculate these three things. So the first thing we need to do is we will calculate CF. So how we will calculate CF? This is 4, then 4 plus 8 is 12, 12 plus 10 is 22, 22 plus 25 is 47, 47 plus 7 is 54, and 54 plus 16 is 70, right? So this is how we have calculated CF. Now I have to calculate these three things which are given to me in the question. So how I will calculate it? First, I need to calculate 25th percentile. To calculate P25, the formula which we have to apply is 25n upon 100. Why we are using 100 in the denominator? Because we are calculating percentile. So 25n upon 100, because here, percentile divides the whole data into 100 parts. That's why we use 25n upon 100. So it becomes 25 into 70 by 100. So it comes 17.5th term. Okay. So 17.5th term, we have to find a value in CF from here which is greater than or equal to 17.5. So which value is greater than 17.5? 22. So this is your P25 class. P25 class, right? So now I have to find the values which are which we have to apply in the formula. So this is the formula for percentile. So the formula is L1 plus 25n upon 100 minus CF divided by F into H, right? So if this is our P25 class, so here the value above this percentile class we take as CF. So CF is 12, right? F is 10 and L1 is 20, and the class interval is 10, right? So these are the values. Now we will put all these values into the formula. So L1 is 20, 25n by 100 is 17.5 minus CF is 12, F is 10 and H is also 10, right? So once we will solve it, the answer we get is, so here the answer is 25.5, okay? $25.5. So now we need to find the second part. Second is third quartile. We need to calculate Q3. So for Q3, what we do, the formula changes a little bit. What it will become 3n, because we are calculating third quartile, that's why we are writing 3n divided by 4. Why did there is 4 in denominator? Because we are calculating quartile, right? Because quartile divides the whole data into 4 parts. That's why we are writing 4 in denominator. So 3 into 70, this n is 70. From here we are taking this, right? This 70. So 3 into 70 by 4 is 52.5th term. Now we have to find a value which is greater than or equal to 52.5 from CF, right? So let's find the value. So this 54, this is a value which is greater than or equal to 52.5. So this is your Q3 class, okay? Q3 class. Now we will take CF as the value which is above the Q3 class. So 47 is your CF. F is 7. L1 is 40. From here we are taking L1, lower limit, and H is 10. Right? H is 10, the class interval of the Q3 class. This is here the class interval is 10, L1 is 40, lower limit is 40, 7 is the frequency and 47 is CF. Now we will put all these values into the formula of Q3. This is the formula for Q3. This is same as median. The only difference is instead of n by 2 or anything else, we are writing 3n by 4. So we'll just apply the values into this formula. So here L1 is 40. 3n by 4 is 52.5. CF is 47. F is 7 and H is 10, right? Now we will solve this part and the answer we get here is 47.857. So anybody has? So the third part of the question says we need to calculate the approximate number of students who fail the examination if the pass marks is 40%. So we need to calculate number of students who failed the exam, okay? So how do we calculate that? Let's first calculate what is the fail marks, okay? At what marks the student will fail the exam. So they are saying 40% is the pass marks. So what is the maximum marks? So here you can see the maximum marks is 60. It means if the students secure less than 40% out of 60, they will fail the exam, right? So the first thing we need to do is we will calculate 40% of 60 so that we can calculate the margin marks on which, below which the students will fail. So 40% of 60 is 24, right? So here it is 24. So which means any student who has secured marks less than 24 has failed the examination, right? Then if we will calculate P24, so here we need to calculate percentile. So in this question, as you can see, it was not given what do we have to calculate, maybe percentile, maybe quartile, maybe whatsoever. We are not given the information that what we are supposed to calculate. But one thing remember, if we need to calculate 24, so deciles calculate only up to 10. So and percentile is the only value which calculates above 10. So that's why we will calculate percentile here. So if we calculate P24, so if we calculate P24, it means we will get number of students who secured marks below 24, right? So we will calculate P24 so that we will get number of students who failed. So suppose X% of the students have failed the examination, then xth percentile of 24 is px equals to 24. So we don't know how many students failed the exam. So we are assuming that x number of students, x% of students have failed the exam. So px is already given to us. It means below 24, whosoever would be there, they will get failed, right? So px is given to us, that is 24. Now we will see where 24 lies, okay? So here you see 24 lies between 20 to 30, 20 to 30 marks, right? So this P25 class, this is also P24 class, okay? So we will take this class interval. So now we will start applying the values. Okay, this is also P24 class. So the formula for P24, P percentile, here we have the formula L1 plus 70x upon 70x is number of students who failed upon 100 minus CF upon F into H. So we will apply the value. So if the P24 class is this only, so CF is 12. So here we will write CF is 12. F is same 10, L1 is 20, this is 10, this is 20 and H is 10, class interval is 10. So we will put all these values into the formula, okay. This is the formula. So Px is 24 because we know that the students who have secured less than 24 will fail the exam. So that's why we are writing 24 here. Answer we already know. We don't know the number of students who failed. That's why at the place of n we are writing x. Okay. So here L1 is 20. 70x by 10 would remain same. CF is 12. Frequency is 10 and H is also 10. So now we will solve it. So this 10 and this 10 would get cancelled out. So this becomes 24 minus 20 equals to 70x by 100 minus 12. Right? So this will become, when we will solve all this, the answer we will get is x equals to 160 divided by 7. $160 by 7. We got our x. Okay. Now, what we will do further, number of students who failed the examination we have to calculate. So, number of students who failed the examination was x%. Okay. So here what we will do, it means total number of students were 70. So 70 into 70 into x upon 100, right? So this is how we can get number of students who failed, because we know that x percentage student, x percent failed out of 70. That's why we have created this equation. So at the place of x now, I can put this value because I know x. This is what we have calculated, right? So now I will put this value of x into this equation. So what I will get? So 70 into so x is 160 by 7, and this denominator 100 we will reciprocate it into 1 by 100. Here we will put this value, and once we will solve it, the answer is 16. So out of 70, 16 students failed the examination. So this is how, with the help of percentile, we calculated the number of students who failed the exam.